Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to ETA Tricks. In today's lecture, we will discuss the chemistry of some representative elements, which is S and P block elements. We will not discuss the whole elements, but we will discuss some tricks by which you can solve the MCQs related to S and P block elements. First of all, we will discuss the oxides of metal and non-metals. The oxides of metal are basic, but their basicity is not same. Basicity is directly proportional to the size and inversely proportional to the charge. For example, if you look at the example number 1, the sodium oxide is more basic than magnesium oxide, and magnesium oxide is more basic than aluminium oxide. This is due to the charge as well as size of the metal. In sodium oxide, sodium has +1 charge. In magnesium oxide, magnesium has +2 charge, and aluminium oxide, aluminium has also +3 charge. So as charge is inversely proportional to the basicity, the molecule having less charge on the metal will be more basic. So sodium oxide is more basic. In the below example, lithium oxide is lesser basic than sodium oxide, and sodium oxide is less basic than potassium oxide. In this example, potassium oxide is more basic because the size of potassium is much greater than sodium and lithium, because as we know that from going down in a group, the size of the atom increases. So as charge is directly proportional to basicity, and in this example potassium has greater size than the rest of all, so it will be more basic. If we talk about the oxides of non-metal, so the oxides of non-metals are acidic, and their acidity is directly proportional to the charge and inversely proportional to the size. In the examples, if you look at the oxides of chlorine, so the charge on the last one, which is Cl2O7, in this molecule chlorine has more charge than the rest, so it is more basic because charge is directly proportional to acidity. In the below example, chlorine oxide, bromine oxide and iodine oxide, the charge on the non-metals are same, which is +1, but the sizes are different, in which iodine has bigger size, bromine has smaller size, and chlorine is smallest than all. So size is inversely proportional to acidity, and chlorine has smaller charge, so it will have greater acidic strength. Trends of acidity and basicity of oxides in period. On going from left to right in a period, acidity increases and basicity decreases, because acidity increases due to the decreased size, and acidity increases due to increase in size, but basicity decreases due to increase in size. If we discuss compounds of metals and non-metals, so metal forms ionic compounds and non-metal form covalent compounds. If we want to find the trend of ionic character in compounds of metal. So ionic character for cation is directly proportional to size divided by charge, and ionic character for anion is directly proportional to charge divided by size. In the uppermost example, if you look at NaCl, MgCl2 and AlCl3, here the charge on sodium is 1, the charge on magnesium is 2, and charge on aluminium is +3. So sodium chloride will have more ionic character, because in this sodium has lesser charge. In the below example, lithium chloride, sodium chloride and potassium chloride. Here the size of lithium is smaller than sodium, and size of sodium is smaller than potassium. Potassium has greater size, so it will have more ionic character, because ionic character is directly proportional to size of the metal. If you want to find the ionic character from anion, here the ionic character is directly proportional to charge and inversely proportional to size. In the example, if we see, the cation is same, which is sodium, but the anion is different, which is fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. In this example, the fluorine is smaller than chlorine, and chlorine is smaller than bromine and iodine, and size is inversely proportional to ionic character for anions. So sodium fluoride will have more ionic character. The stability of compounds. The ionic compound with lower oxidation state will be more stable, and in covalent compound, the higher oxidation state compound will be stable. There is also a general rule for stability of compounds, that alkali metals and halogens form more stable compounds. They are made for each other. Group 1A and group 7A are, if they make a molecule, it will be more stable. And if alkaline earth metal, which is group 2nd and 6th A group, make a molecule, that will be more stable. And group 3 and group 5A form more stable compound. If you want to find the reactivity of metals, remember this formula is for the reactivity of metals. So the reactivity is directly proportional to the size and inversely proportional to the valence electrons, because as the size increases, the removal of electron from metals becomes easier. But for non-metal, reverse this formula, that will be correct. But this formula is basically for metals. If you look at the example, sodium is more reactive than magnesium, and magnesium is more reactive than aluminium. And in the below example, lithium is less reactive than sodium, and sodium is less reactive than potassium. The above example is on the basis of both size and valence electron, because as we move from left to right in a period, the valence electron increases and the size decreases. In the below example, lithium is smaller than sodium and sodium is smaller than potassium. So as size is directly proportional to reactivity, the reactivity of potassium will be more due to greater size. Now we will discuss periodicity of some periodic properties. First of all, we will discuss atomic size. Atomic size can be deducted from uh, atomic radius, ionic radius, covalent radius, and van der Waals radius. If we discuss the trend of atomic radius, so atomic radius is directly proportional to shielding effect and inversely proportional to nuclear charge or number of protons. If you look at the example, iodine is bigger than bromine and bromine is bigger than chlorine and fluorine. Because if we look here, the shielding effect increases. The shielding effect is smaller in fluorine and greater in iodine due to more number of shells. But you should remember the following 2 points: that across the period shielding effect remains constant because number of shells are constant, but nuclear charge increases, so due to which size decreases. Because if the nuclear charge is more, it will hold the electron more, so the size of the atom becomes smaller. And down the group, the size increases due to increase in shielding effect due to addition of shells. But effect of nuclear charge is small, so we can neglect it. Coming to ionic radius, so positive ion has greater charge and smaller size. And as the charge increases further, size become more and more smaller. You can see in the generalized example that an atom A, when it has zero charge, is bigger than that atom which has lost one electron, and if that atom lost one more electron, it will become more smaller. The negative ion or anion has smaller charge and greater size, and as the charge decreases further, size become more and more bigger. In the below generalized example, the atom A, which has zero charge, is smaller than that atom which has gained one electron, and if that atom gain one more electron, it will become more bigger. Another one is ionization energy. The amount of energy required to remove an electron from an atom in gaseous state is termed as ionization energy. Ionization energy is inversely proportional to the atomic size. Remember that ionization energy is the property of metals, because only metals lose electron. Non-metal do not lose electron, they gain electrons. So when the atomic size increases, the distance between the valence electron and the nucleus increases, so the removal of electron become easier and the ionization energy is smaller. Ionization energy also depends upon the nature of orbital from which we are removing the electron. Completely filled orbitals are more stable than half-filled orbital, and half-filled orbital is more stable than partially filled orbital. You can also see the stability order of different orbital, that completely filled orbital is more stable than half-filled orbital, and this in turn is more stable than partially filled orbital. So it means that removal of electron from completely filled orbital will require more energy and ionization energy will be more, and removal of electron from partially filled orbital will require more energy will require less energy, and ionization energy will be smaller. Electron affinity can be defined as love for accepting electron. There is also another definition for electron affinity, that the energy absorbed or released when an atom in gaseous state gains electron. The trend of electron affinity is same as that of the ionization energy in group and period. We will discuss now melting and boiling point. First, you should know that elements exist in giant and discrete form. There is a trick that elements of group 1st A to group 4th A exist in giant form, while elements from 5A to 8A group exist in discrete form. But except boron, carbon, silicon and germanium, these 4 atoms or elements exist in giant form. They form giant structures. For giant structures, melting and boiling point is directly proportional to the valence electron and inversely proportional to the size of the atom. If an atom has greater valence electron, its melting point, boiling point will also be greater. For discrete structures, melting point and boiling point is directly proportional to total number of electrons. Here comes the end of first part of S and P block or representative elements. In the next part we will discuss Fajan rule and heat of hydration, lattice energy and some MCQs related to S and P block elements or chapter 13.